Welcome to Open Enough to Listen. I'm Dom, and we have Brandon.
What up, world? Back again. Hope you're open to listen.
So we're gonna be talking about co-parenting and just the perspective of a father. Would you like to share your experience just as far as you being a proud dad?
About me being a proud dad. Hell, what's there to share about it, man? It's fun. It sucks sometimes. It's the best of all worlds, bro. You get all emotions when you're a father for being that. So I really ain't. It's a, it's one of the best things that happened to me. But one of the most challenging things I got going on in my life. Just every day trying to keep up, uh, basically trying to keep up with them, man. I got four of them, so it get kind of hectic. But I wouldn't change it for the world, man. I wouldn't. I can't remember what my life was like before I had kids, bro. If I'm being honest with
Man, I about to say they can be they could be a handful. I know
you.
having two sons and then my daughter changed the whole game. Having kids changed the game in general, but I think just us I'll speak for myself when it comes to as a man maturing, taking on responsibilities, doing things that you don't want to do, but
Hmm.
you know you gotta do it, and I think it's good when it comes to it being good fathers out there because it's such a big stigmatism when it comes to fathers who not there, fathers who you know, ain't
Right.
nothing. The deadbeats, like the stereotypes specifically when it comes to black men. So I know I like to think it's dope when I think that fathers who are there, black fathers, just fathers in general, they deserve their flowers because a lot of stuff that we go through just like women, but like Father's Day, we don't get the love like the Mother's Day do.
Yeah, yeah, for
That's a
sure.
whole nother topic. But it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
All right, so how do unresolved emotions from failed relationships impact co-parenting dynamics?
I'll let you go first on that one.
I think, from my experience, I would say from a male's perspective, sometimes emotions can be involved. I don't, for me, it wasn't emotion, it was more so the opposite, the emotions of the woman in my situation that, try to keep me from being there when I was there when I was with you. But now all of a sudden it changed because we're not together or we're not on the same page. So you take it out on me and punish the kids. And I think that opened up a whole nother can of worms because now you're dealing with someone that's trying to be there, but you're keeping them from their kid. And then on the outside looking in, it may look and or appear that that person's not there, that person's not helping because you're not allowing it. So in essence, you're somewhat creating that narrative
Mm-hmm.
unless someone is on the inside or see the things that you do for your kids.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I've uh I've had it both ways actually, dude. I got I got four children. Start there. I got two baby mothers, two mothers of my children. I should say. Um, but I've had a little bit. I've had a little bit of both. I've had like with my first child, it definitely was a hassle. We were never really together. We kind of just were two people shacking up and had a baby. So that alone caused its own type of friction. So when it came time to co-parenting, yeah, it was really rough with her at the time. You know what I mean? Plus, she was in the military. We were in the military, so she would be in Chicago. I'll be in San Diego. She's in Hawaii. You know what I mean? So it was really rough then. It was a lot easier for her to do those things. But when I had my last three with in my last relationship, things as far as the co-parenting thing, it kind of went kind of like I said last time I was on when we were talking about um, um, what did we say? We were talking about how do you maintain a healthy relationship after a breakup and you have kids together. And basically, I
Mhm.
said, stop fucking, stop shacking up, right?
Right.
So it's kind of like it was kind of like that with my second one. So it was kind of a smooth ordeal. You know, there
Mhm.
was a lot of bitterness and stuff like that. Like there was things being, of course, there was a narrative out there on her side of me. There was a narrative out here on my side of her. You get what I'm saying? And but at the end of the day, after all the smoke settled, after all the, all the BS, all the bitterness got out, all after we took the emotions out of it, because let's be honest, we were mad at each other, not really the kids,
Right.
you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it became, it became very, very easy to get my kids. Like I got my kids now, right now. Like they're downstairs playing right now. It's never been an issue as far as that goes with my second kids' mothers, with my three kids' mothers, I should say. My three youngest. It was never an issue. Co-parenting so far as being smooth. Uh, like I said, at first it was a little rough. We was together for so long. I didn't know how to co-parent. I never saw myself co-parenting. So for a minute, I'm gonna be real with you. I was mad as shit. I didn't know what to do. I wasn't trying to do nothing. I'm like, nah, if I ain't there, don't call me. You know what I mean? Like I can't lie and say I didn't feel like that at first. You know what I mean? But that's because it was new to me. But after a couple weeks of growing up, I was able to see the bigger picture, and now things run smooth. I keep my kids Monday through Friday, and on the weekends, in the morning time, we get up, we get dressed. Their mom goes one way to work. I go the opposite way. I meet her. She takes my little three. I take her big two. I take them to high school. She takes them to elementary. We go on about our day. That's our routine, and it doesn't hurt me. It doesn't, like it's actually perfect. It works out perfect. We do not argue about these kids unless it comes to maybe I feel like she neglected something, or maybe she felt like I neglected something. Those are the only type of debates and bouts we have. But as far as anything goes, if I say, hey, I need the kids' insurance cards, I'm taking them to the dentist, it's not a problem. If I say, hey, I need their birth certificates for this, it's not a problem. You know what I mean? It's never been an issue. You know what I'm saying? We even like my co-parenting situation so good with my kids' mother, dude. I don't have no complaints about that one. Like I claim my kids on my taxes. There's no hoopla, it's no fighting, isn't it's none of that. We see that regardless to how we ended and how fucked up our individual stuff was, when it came to them, it's a no brainer. You get what I'm saying? It's a no
Mhm.
brainer. We put the bullshit aside. We take care of business. We'll get back to the bullshit after. We'll get back to it after. But when it's time to put the kids up there, the kids is up there, man. So my co-parenting situation with both of my kids' mothers at this point is I couldn't ask for nothing better, man.
Okay, what would you say for the ones who don't have that? Because I can say for me, I'll just give an example. So on one of my situations, I'm there for my sons and my daughter, no matter what. If they need me, or me even inquiring about them. With one in particular, um, for example, flying out to Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I fly out there summer. I try to fly out there when they have a game. I fly out there. Pick them up for
Whenever you got a
Christmas.
chance, right?
Right. But every time I go out there, oh, I can't come to the airport. Oh, well, someone's gonna have to do, or you got to come to the house to get them. Or when I get there, either she's not there, or you got to Uber there, so I miss my flight.
Mm-hmm.
It's things like that that is just, it makes you look at the situation, makes you want to give up as a man, because it's just like I can only do so much, and there's just the court orders there. But at the end of the day, she picks and choose when to do what she needs to do instead of being there on top of that. It got to the point for me, I was like, well, all right, cool. Well, if you're not gonna bring them, then just tell them that I'm not, that they're not coming. I'll just get back on my flight to LA.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it changed, but it's like, why are the games when I'm there for the kids? I don't give you no problems. Take care of my responsibility when it comes to me being a father. But I could look at other people like your situation, other people that I know that co-parenting is great.
Yeah.
And it's like I know I'll find myself like, man, what's going on? But I make sure I continue to do what I need to do for my kids regardless, because they don't know, at least from my my standpoint and how I speak around them, they don't know all the BS that go on
Yeah.
between, they
And they're
mama.
not supposed to. And they're not supposed to. But I would say
Right.
this though. I would say in that type of case or ordeal, you know what I mean? What I had to do with, like I said, because I went through it before my first child's mother. What you got to do, or what was successful for me, was alleviating all the things that she felt like I needed her for. You know what I mean? So yeah, I gotta fly out to Chicago, and I gotta fly out to Carolina. I gotta fly out to Virginia or California and all this stuff. But I don't need you to pick me up from the airport. Tell me where my child is. I'll go get it myself. I don't need none of that. I don't need nothing from you, but to make sure he is where he needs to be. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you to bring him nowhere. I don't need you because, and I started to do that because, like I said, once I alleviated things for her to try to play with me about, well, you can't do this, or you need to go pick them up here, pick them up. Once I alleviated that, she had nothing else to go off of. So now at this point, you sit back and you look at the this rocky road that you're creating, and you see I'm smoothing it out, and eventually you just see that you're the problem. At least that's what happened with me. My son's mother kind of just felt like she kind of after a while was kind of like, okay, I guess I'm the problem because now every excuse I was giving for why I couldn't come down to see him, or, oh, I don't have a car, or I don't have, you know what I'm saying? Like, once I alleviated that, man, she couldn't say nothing to me. And then at one point, it got to the point where she was trying to help me alleviate those things. I would tell, like, look, baby mom, like, I can't fly down because I got enough for a ticket, but I don't have enough for a rental car for the week. She'll do things like, hey, I got two cars here. Pull up, get the keys, and do what you gotta do. But you gotta get here. I ain't coming to no airport picking you up and nothing. Now you can get here. You feel what I'm saying? But you got the keys, you go out and do what your son did. You know what I mean? But that took a little minute, man. That took a lot of fighting. That took a lot. But it just takes one person to just it takes the person that's doing it mainly to kind of see themselves doing it. If they don't see themselves doing it, bro, it ain't really nothing you can do but
Right.
besides do what just said. You know what I'm saying? If having to Uber there has been a problem, or having to get him to the airport or getting there has been a problem, you schedule it for him. You know what I'm saying? You already got those things covered. You feel what I'm saying?
But
So I
but
mean,
this was the thing in my situation. Even with that, it's like, okay, per court order, you're supposed to drop them off at the airport. That don't happen. There's
mm,
always something, and I try to let them know. For the most part, I'll try to let her know, hey, this is when, this is the time, this is when they're gonna get here, to give enough time. And then even with that, it still is an issue. And that's not even, like I said, when I missed my flight, it's like that's a cost. Me
yeah,
flying out there to get them and then flying back to drop them off, and then me to pay another plate, man. That's like it was close to 2,000.
yeah. See,
You know
man,
what I'm saying? And then on top of that,
yeah.
you want me to have to pay for an Uber to get them? You know what I'm saying? So
You
it's
gotta low
like,
key become the ops, bro. When you
yeah,
got court orders and stuff like that, you lightweight gotta become the ops as much as it don't seem manly enough for doing that. But if she ain't following her court order, what would she do if you wasn't following your court order? You get what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah,
Stop, don't let that because for real, that ain't gonna be nothing you're gonna be able to tell the kids once they get
right.
old enough and
No, for
understand
real.
what a court order is. Like, hold on, you had a court order, do what she would have done to you. You know what I mean? Sometimes you
Yeah,
gotta be the ops, and yeah, it may make us feel like, like some sucker shit, because technically it
it
really is.
is.
But
Yeah,
at the end of the day, bro, but at the end of the day, the bottom line is your child. You get what I'm saying? And if this is what you're going to keep putting me through, then I have to find other ways to get through to you.
avenues.
You get what I'm saying? I got to use all my resources. And you're not wrong. You'd be just as right as she is if you wasn't following your court order, if she had to use her resources for something, whether it's a food stamp or a section. Like, you're not wrong, bro. That's what this stuff is in place for. You get what I'm saying?
Mm,
So my advice to you is I wouldn't don't feel like don't feel like no sucker if you gotta go down there and become the ops because y'all have a court order. Y'all got a court order for a reason. You get what I'm saying? Because y'all couldn't figure it out together. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So if them people got to be involved, them people got to be involved. And it's like I said, as much as it hurts me to say that, because I know what type of dude you are, of course, and I know you like, man, I'm not feeling that. But is that what we gonna be able to like? Could I tell Braden that, like, bro, your mom wasn't following her court order, so I couldn't get you. Or bro,
Right.
I lost two bands trying to fly down there. I can't come down there for the next 6 months because your mom ain't doing her court order. You know, like after a while, that even sounds crazy coming out. You know what I mean? Like I can't come see you because she ain't following the court order. Nah, it's cool. I'll call them people down there. They'll make sure you follow it. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes you got the way they play the game with us. Sometimes we got some games that we have to play with them. Like they play the same. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
it's not really playing the game because you're not doing this just for the hell of it or just to get you in trouble or to get the people looking at you or not. Like you're doing it because me and you can't
Right.
we can't get here. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, yeah, I wouldn't feel bad if you had to go and do that. If that's something that's still currently shaking with you, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
because and then I mean, I was just staring at my son today, bro. I got 7 more years with this kid before he's an adult. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
7 more years, bro. I cut this nigga's umbilical cord. Like it feels different when I'm looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
so with me feeling like that, thinking like that, it's only like I don't really want to give my kids many excuses. I don't want to give them none. Nigga, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to give
Right.
them none, dog. I don't want to have no excuse for why I wasn't there or why. Like I'm not
Hmm.
on drugs. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not an alcoholic. You not on drugs. You not an alcoholic. Like we got a lot of stuff playing in our part in our favor. You know what I'm saying? Once
Hmm.
they get older and they start having kids and they see how easy it could be if you there, if you just being a present, like, cause it's easy to be present, bro. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Once they see that, they ain't gonna be able to accept half that shit we give them when they got questions and we come in with lame excuses. You know, they're not gonna be able to
Right.
accept it. I wouldn't be able
Hmm.
to accept that from my dad. You get what I'm saying? So, but yeah, for sure, become a op. More of the story, be a op. If you gotta be the ops, be a op, bro.
Right. Okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
appreciate that.
I'll go down there with you. We can go be ops together. I'm just talking.
Nah.
Yeah, for sure,
Nah.
man.
Nah. Nah. I feel you. Okay. What actions can fathers take to consistently demonstrate their commitment to their child, regardless of challenges with their mother? Pretty much what we were
Easy,
just talking about.
easy. Being present, just being present. Your presence, your the value of your presence, dude, is priceless. You get what I'm saying? It's unmatched. It's even different from the mother's presence. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like it's different. So just being present, dude, regardless to what you and the mom got going on, you know what I mean? Not letting that stop you. For instance, if you gotta become an op, you gotta become an op. Whatever you gotta do to make your presence felt, I think is and the rest will fall in line. You get what I'm saying? Because we learn as we go about this shit. Nobody got the blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Just being present is how I started to learn everything. You know what I mean? You didn't know how to change a diaper before you was fucking present. You get what I'm saying? You had to
Right.
be
Right.
present.
Right.
You didn't know the difference between wiping your daughter or wiping your son until you was present. A lot of these men that have kids don't even know that feeling, dude. You know that?
Mm.
My dad has never changed a diaper. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
3 kids, he ain't never changed a diaper. My little brother's dad ain't never changed a diaper, bro. Like, so just present. Being present, dude. Whether you a shitbag or not. Just be there. You get what I'm saying? That's how I feel, man.
Yeah, I would say pretty much when it comes to that, I would say being present. Um, and when you there personally, I'm gonna speak for me, make a difference.
Oh yeah.
Because ultimately, with the kids being around their mom, whether you're trying to co-parenting or even if you're in a situation and you not even want to say stepdad, but you are playing a role as a father figure. At the end of the day, it's all about making a difference,
Yeah.
trying to show them better than what you've experienced.
Hmm.
And I think that, like you said, being present, being a man of your word, and just being there. Like I said, I've learned just mentoring help with being a father, and being a
Hmm.
father is huge. And you can see the difference of the kids that you raise compared to kids that don't have fathers, and you can see them running them up. So I think agreeing with you being present, but also being intentional with your
Yeah.
with what you want to
Intentional
do.
with your presence. Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah,
Don't just be
because
there
you
to be
can.
there.
There you
You
go.
gotta do
You could
something.
be there, but you're not really there because the
Yeah.
kids won't see you, and the kids don't see you, even though you're present. As far as like you may come in and may see you a little bit, but you're not spending no time. Be intentional
Mhm.
with your time because
Yeah.
we don't get that back. And with the kids, as I've, being a father, they do like things, but they treasure the time that you
Yeah.
spend with them. Rather is you teaching them how to ride a bike, or you
For
teach them how
sure.
to tie a shoe, teach them how to shoot a basketball, throw a football, hit a baseball, kick soccer. Like all those things are big to them in their development, and they look at the milestones just like we do when we
Yeah.
look at certain things when we was growing up and a person wasn't there that we wanted to be there,
Right.
and it's the same thing. So I agree with you being intentional, and it
Yeah.
plays a huge role that's different than the female. And I think that that's the big thing that the hope is that women will understand how important it is for a father to be there,
Yeah.
regardless of the situation that they have. But it's important for the father to be there, obviously, if he has good intentions. Now, if
Yeah.
he ain't doing nothing and he continue to try to hurt your kid, obviously he shouldn't be there. But
Right.
if a man is trying and putting his best foot forward to actually be not with you, but be there for the kids,
Yeah.
give them that opportunity, give your kids that opportunity.
Yeah. Got to. It's a necessity.
Facts. Okay, let's see. How does being alienated from your child affect the father's sense of identity and self worth?
Mm.
I'll take it while you gather your thought.
Mm.
I think when I'm gonna speak for myself. I remember when my sons were living in California and their mom decided they wanted to move to Georgia. Once they moved to Georgia, not being able to see them every day, take them to school like I normally was, it it put me in a bad spot mentally, because I'm not able to see my kids. I don't think people look at it and understand like, okay, if they used to be there, I used to take them to school, I used to do this. I'm walking into a home that I called home that my kids not running up saying, "Hey, daddy,"
Hmm.
or staying up. That's missed. So, it kind of put me in a bad spot, mentally. And then when it comes with that, finally being able to see them and the things that you go through because they were gone, you go through the thoughts of, man, my kid don't love me. You go through the thoughts of, man, it's another man taking care of my kids. You go through the thoughts of all these different things because you're not there like you once were.
Yeah.
Not because of it was a choice that I made, but was a choice that she made, right? But
Yeah.
okay, we got to deal with it. But even when dealing with it, even and going into the next situation I was in because of the effect that it had on me that they were not there.
Hmm.
I'm in a whole nother situation, but I'm shutting down. I'm closed off from her because I'm still thinking about my kids, you
Yeah.
know. So it put me in a bad spot, and it could affect, your everyday. It could affect your relationship if you end up in a relationship because of there's a disconnect,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
and I
Hmm.
didn't even express that to the person. They would just see it, but
Hmm.
I was so, just gone because like you feel like you lose something. But I think that just having an understanding of me having an understanding when you are a dad and you do care, that's gonna weigh on you. Obviously, for dads that don't care, it don't weigh on them. It's just like they go about their day. But for
Right.
me, it bothered me.
Yeah.
days, as far as going there, damn, I wish I could see my kid, or even,
Yeah. Well,
when
trust
it
me, I
comes to
know,
trying to
man.
get, hmm?
I said, oh yeah, I know that feeling. Oh, too well.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what was yours?
Well, mine was more with my first child. Like I said, he was a military baby. He wasn't planned. We from two different parts of the world. You know what I mean? We raised two different ways. Like we just, and when well, first off, I didn't find out my son was my son till he was about 7, 8 months. Right? I was on deployment. And I found out on Christmas Day. Crazy thing, right? I got my results and everything. Mail ran on Christmas Day is when my results came in. So uh, after after that, for a hot second, everything was like cool. Like I was getting used to the fact I got a child now. I'm 22 years old. I got a baby. You know what I mean? I got a son. I'm actually kind of lit. You know what I mean? I'm kind of happy. You feel me? So you know, things happen. You know, and I was kept away. Like I missed a lot of like his growing up. You get what I'm saying? Like I started to miss a lot of his growing up. Like bad enough I missed the whole pregnancy, which
Hmm.
sucked. You know what I mean? But it put me, and I'm only saying that because going through that stuff that I went through with my first child is why I was so crazy hands on with when Braden came. Like when Braden came, I felt like I had missed so much, and I felt like the only way I can make that up is to make it up to the next child. You get what I'm saying? Which is it's
Hmm.
kind of weird, but that's kind of how I felt. You know what I mean? So like when Braden came, dude, like yeah, it wasn't planned or nothing like that, but it was planned. If you know what I mean, like it was meant to
Right.
be. I hadn't seen my other son in maybe a year and a half, almost 2 years. Like it was bad, like real bad.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And like I said, the way she kept him from me in the beginning kind of made it very, kind of made me very, how you say it, possessive over like when my kid's mother got pregnant. Like I
Hmm.
got really, really, really possessive. Like nothing is gonna tear this apart. Like I'm here for that. I'm here for this. Like my son, like my kids only cry for their mama when they wanted to eat, when they wanted a bottle or something like that. But other than that, I got up at 3 a.m. I was the one, what I'm saying,
Hmm.
making
I
bottles.
already
Like
know.
I was changing diapers. Like my kid's mother would, it got so bad. My kid's mother got so used to me doing everything that the baby would be wet and shit. Hey, the baby's wet. The baby's wet. She won't even think twice about it. Like I ain't touching no diaper. They daddy finna do that. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
that's how I loved it though. That's how I had it because I didn't get that with my first, what I consider my first pride and joy, my first heartbeat. But it does put you in a crazy mindset. And some people, like I said, react differently. What happened with me
Hmm.
was I went out and I just started having children. Like nigga, once I felt that hurt from not being able to be in my child's life, I think I gave my kid's mother a child every 2 years, bro. Like I was, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like I was just like, oh, I'm shooting the club. I just want to have a big kid, like a big family. It wasn't nothing like that. It was just kind of like, that's just the mindset I was in. Like, dog, like this was almost ripped from me. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like it was ripped from me so bad that it was a point where I didn't really know the kid. You get what I'm saying? And a part of me didn't wasn't able to feel anything behind that, and that hurt. It's kind of crazy, right? When I
Hmm.
think about that, like after a while of her keeping him from me, I lost feeling. You know what I'm saying? I lost feeling about it. It was just kind of like, well, I got these other kids I got to deal with now. I got these other kids I'm taking care of now. I'm about to do this to the best of my ability. I'm not fighting with
Hmm.
you no more. I'm not doing none of that. You feel what I'm saying? But that brings me back to what I was saying. Like, I don't want to give my kids no excuses, dog. Like, I don't have no excuse to give him as to why, he about to be 15 and he's grown up a lot without me. I missed a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no excuses for him and I don't want to give him that. And I'm not doing that with them. So, but yeah, I definitely I definitely know what you mean, but like I said, it definitely affects us all in different ways.
Hmm.
It might have been something that put somebody in the corner. Maybe he like, I ain't never having no more kids. I ain't never. With me, it was like, bro, I gotta have some kids, bro. I gotta have more kids. Like, I want to feel this type of love, like the type of love I felt when I first found out my son was my son, and I first got to hold him and kick it with him, and then to have that snatched, it was like a drug I was chasing. I have to feel it again. Like I have to, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how I reacted to that. But yeah, that definitely that tore me up, man, because I wanted to be there, even though in the beginning I didn't know it was mine, so not too much I could do from there. But but yeah, man, I get it, though.
I'll say another thing is this is just, I mean, I've never done it. I know you haven't done it, but I know other people who would, it will be a situation like that and they'll just totally walk away from because they don't want to deal with the BS that they got to do. They'll just better be better off just paying child support
Well, at one point, that's where I
or
was
just
at,
walking
Domino.
away. No, no,
At one,
same, no, same. So, oh, okay. So I'll
that's
just
where I
tell
was
you.
at.
I was like that more so because of going dang near year and a half without, seeing my sons. It was like it messed me up because like you mean to tell me I can't see him, but I was seeing him every day.
Hmm.
I wasn't neglectful. I was always there for him. I was going to games.
Right.
Anytime you need, I was there. But because of you being upset with how our situation ended or it didn't work out, you out of spite, okay, I don't talk to my kids. You
Hmm.
have them say things like, "Daddy don't love me." You a
See,
3-year-old
that's
is
a little
telling me
different.
that. You,
That's a
but
little different.
you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying though.
Oh yeah,
It
that's a little
it it
different.
can
That
make
hit a
you
little
it can make
different.
you
Yeah.
kind of be like, you know what? I don't want to do this
Yeah.
anymore because it's too much pain, and it's just like we deal with it. A lot of people don't know that's that situation because I'm not gonna put her out
Yeah.
there, and I've never put her out there to be like, oh, what is, and it's not to bash her, but at the same time, at that moment where she was in, when she
Mhm.
was doing a lot of things out of spite, whether it was from bitter or whatever, it was a hurtful place. And now one time that I call out her name, any that I just took that, but I ain't gonna lie. It'll be times where I would go in the bathroom in the middle of the night, no one know. I'm in there,
Balling.
crying like a
Yeah.
baby because like it hurt,
It does.
but it's just like at the end of the day, this is the call I dealt. Now, even with that, I kept doing okay, how can I get him? When can I see him? I'm still putting myself out there because I wasn't gonna give up on my kids. But I
Yeah.
do know some people get to a point of that and they just give up because they look at it as like, well, it's too much. If it's that issue, if that's that big of an issue, then you deal it with it yourself. You
Yep.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
But
exactly.
it's just different mindsets.
That's exactly where I was to the point, and I stood on that. I stood on that for a long time, bro. After so many sleepless nights and sitting up crying because yeah, mine was a little different because my child was never in my household at the time. You feel what I'm saying? But I feel like the things that I went through as a kid coming up with no father and things like that that influenced like how how hard I was in love with my, you know what I mean? Like with like the idea of being a father and things like that. To the point where, yeah, but you gotta be in love with this shit in order for it to do
Hmm.
what it did for you to put you in the bathroom crying. You get what I'm saying? That's what it did to me, to the point where I had to cry and I woke up and I had cried enough. This may sound like some crazy shit, but I cried enough, bro. And I told myself and I told myself and I told her, I said, if we cannot get this together, I am I'm finished. Like, like this is taking too much of a toll over me. You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I don't want to go through this for 18 years. If this is how it's going to be, I would much rather take my chances rolling up a blunt and having a beer with him when he's 21 and explaining to him what I can. You feel what I'm saying? And try to figure this thing out with him. But going through this with you on a constant basis and all that, this shit's hurtful. It hurtful. So after a while, bro, I had to stand on that for a little minute. And eventually, like I said, she came around. Like she came around, and then
Hmm.
once you start to notice, like, okay, this really ain't the problem. This is the problem. You feel what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And we can, because if we're both staring over here and like, okay, this is the problem, and that's not the problem the whole freaking time, we're missing the whole god doggone problem here. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what me and her were doing. We were missing the problem, you know. And I just, like you said, dude, That's the exact mindset I was in. Like I told her, like I'm done with this. I'll talk to him. I'll talk to my son when he's 18, or when he's old enough to say I want to speak to my dad or call my dad. You get what I'm saying? Because at some point, because I was there and I was present, at some point my son gonna ask for me. So now you got to make a decision whether you're gonna lie or you're gonna let him come talk to me. Whether you're gonna tell him, "Oh, I don't know where your daddy is," or "Your daddy don't want you," or you gonna tell him a lie, or is you gonna let him, or is you gonna open that door and let him come? Because see, that's now that ball's in your court. Because
Hmm.
this whole time I've been hurt and going through this, the ball's been in my court. Oh, your daddy ain't doing this, your daddy ain't doing that, your daddy ain't
Hmm.
flying down the sea, your daddy ain't doing it. Now it's in your court because I'm telling you I'm done. I'm telling you I'm not doing it. It's over with. If you can't, I'm not even asking you to meet me halfway. If you can't meet me 25, 30%, I'm cool. I'm done because I have a lot of life to live, dude. You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I got other kids I gotta take care of. Like my eyes are sinking in. Like it's like I'm looking old. Like I can't do that with you for 18
Right.
years, lady. Are you crazy? And to 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 what you said earlier, you wouldn't have been wrong for feeling that way, bro. You're not
Right.
wrong for feeling that way. There really ain't nothing you can do unless you go down there and once again become a op. You get what I'm saying? And that's another thing that us men ain't really we ain't really about that life. Y'all ain't about that life. We ain't about that life going down there telling them she keeping this baby from me. She ain't like we don't really be about that life. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
We don't
Hmm.
want to be about that life. But you got some people that that is about that life, and I say more power to you. And if I ever have to do it, I'm not gonna hesitate
Right.
because, like I said, at the end of the day, bro, I got 7 years with them. You think I'm gonna let you waste my time? You think I'm gonna let you play with me about that? No, I'm not gonna do that. I got 7 years left. That's it. In 7 years, I got 7 years to make or break my children. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
7 years. I'm not about to let you, your mother, your grandma, no one take that away from me. No, I lost that with one. I won't lose it with these ones. And that's one of the things, my baby mama seen I was serious about. And so I don't have those problems because I'm going to war with God about mine. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That sitting back, dealing with that hurt the way I did with my first child because I didn't know how to go about this thing. I didn't know how to manage my feelings and stuff like that. Because yeah, me telling her I'm done, I'm not going through that for 18 years. That was some coward shit. You know what I'm saying? That was me
Hmm.
giving up. Like, bro, I'm giving up. But when I think
Hmm.
about it, I wasn't wrong for being like that at the time, but I was growing up too. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
now that I'm grown, now that I've been through it, I done rolled around in the mud a little bit. I'm not about to play with you or nobody else about mine, bro. I'm not
Hmm.
gonna do it. You get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do it.
Hmm.
So it's a growing process, bro. We learn this shit is a learning, it's a teaching moments every single day for
No facts.
yourself, for the kids, for your kid's mother, for her teaching you, you teaching her. You know what I mean? Like it's just a one big circle, bro. One big circle, bro. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it definitely took a lot of growing for me not to feel like that because I definitely was on it. I was gonna be
Right. No, for
outside.
sure.
I was gonna be outside just like my dad was. Like, is this why? This why? You know what I mean? Like, but
Mm.
nah, no, 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 no. Them babies ain't got nothing to do with that.
Right.
I,
And that's the thing. That's the thing. As far as like the different situations that happen when it comes to um the kids, the babies, when you are in a situation and the kids are involved, when you're in a relationship and things don't work out. It's like the hope is that we could come to an agreement, even when things die down from being upset. But a lot of times that's not the case right away. There's a
yeah,
lot of hurt involved, so you do things. It guys do it too. So I don't
oh,
want to just
for
say
sure.
it's just women,
Oh, you hear
but
me? I tell you the
it
bigger. I was
yeah.
spiteful. I was mad. I was bitter. I was bitter. I gotta be honest with you. I was mad, bitch. You gonna do this to me? You know what I'm saying? I was on my Denzel shit, man. So yeah.
Yeah, nah, but it's like even with that, it's just like as time go on and you see the consistency in the mother, the consistency in the father, I feel like you owe that to him because you didn't make that child by themselves. And I do think when it comes to men and females talking down and talking bad around the other parent, around the kid, I don't think that's necessarily healthy. Obviously, we all know, what that person is, cool. But at the same time, when you do that, I feel like you create an image because ultimately kids are old enough, and once they get grown, they gonna see what that person
Oh
is.
yeah.
You ain't gotta say nothing
Mhm.
because with us growing up, we could see, oh, this person is dead, but this person not there for their kid. We could see, oh, this person just got their kids out doing whatever. We knew what it was. So as we get
Mhm.
older, we see it. So it's like you don't have to necessarily say it and bad mouth whatever just because of you're mad, or the person could be good and
Oh
you
yeah.
bad mouth because you're not in a situation with them.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Nah, you badmouth them to the bathroom, bro. You go. I always go in the bathroom and say what I gotta say, man. Never to
Yeah,
my.
yeah, no,
I'm gonna
fact.
tell you. I'm gonna tell you when I learned that that was powerful, man. Like, besides people always saying that, right? Because you hear it all the
Hmm.
time. Like it's like a rule of
Hmm.
thumb, almost like an unwritten rule. But let me tell you how powerful that is, man. One day, and we were co-parenting at this time, right? One day, I'm talking to my kids, to Braden's mom, and you know. I'm like, well, I thought I asked you to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I had said something to the fact, like, why every time I gotta ask you something, I gotta ask you a million times. And I hung up the phone. I was like, that girl's so doggone hard headed, right? Those my exact
Hmm.
words. Kid you not. About 3 months later, Brayden asked his mom to do something and she didn't do it. And he said, Mom, are you being hard headed again? He almost got his lips popped off, right? But I wasn't
Hmm.
bashing her. Like we talk to each other like that. Like her, she goofy, man. You know what I mean? Like we don't, but we
Hmm.
don't. It's never. I'm never calling out her name. It's never nothing out of pocket. Never nothing like that. I live in a household full of jokes because that's all we do anyway. That's what I do
Hmm.
with y'all. That's what I do with my kids. That's how we talk. So, but I just was, so by me saying that, right, saying that, I guess that little bad negative thing, right, he took it and he ran with it. So now he has it in his mind, or at the time he had it in his mind that his mama was hard headed, right? So
Hmm.
so you definitely have to watch what you're saying around these kids because not only do they go looking for what you said, but they remember it. You get what I'm saying? So now we're
Hmm.
looking for situations to where my mom is hard headed or what she's doing shit that's hard. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
definitely be careful with what you saying to your kids about they daddy, about they mama, about they anybody that them kids love. You gotta protect their heroism. I don't care what it is, bro. I do not care if they. I don't care if that man is out there on whatever he own, whatever. That ain't your business. But it ain't your business to talk down or bad about that person either, bro. It's really not, because like you said, them kids make up their own interpretations anyway. So me being here in my kid's life, dude, it still could turn out with a negative interpretation. You get what I'm saying? From them, depending on how I treat them and deal with them, it still could be negative. So, I always try to protect their mom's heroism when it comes to maybe things I don't like about, what I'm saying, and things they may tell me, Sometimes I even go as far as to make an excuse for her. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Well, mom tired. She
Facts.
don't be
Yeah.
she don't be feeling that. Like, do y'all know how heavy y'all is? Do y'all know how much it is to carry y'all on your back? What I'm saying? So sometimes I'll make an excuse, something like that. But for the most part, I'm like, dude, your mom is strong and your mom do what she can. Whatever she can't do, that's where I'm coming in. And that's how I tell them, you know what I mean? So that they don't have a messed up, and regardless to what I see, regardless to what I think about it, right? Because obviously what I think is something completely different, right? But
Right.
to them, oh no, 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 no. Your mother the strongest woman I ever seen. She don't do nothing wrong. You get what I'm saying? I ain't got it's not my place to sit there and point out her flaws or none of that stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
then
Just like
on
her
top of that,
place to
even
do mine.
I was gonna say not to cut you off, but even when it comes to when when parents are talking about each other, like you said, we all have flaws.
Hmm.
So even if you just say, "Oh, this person this or this person that," but yet you dropping the ball somewhere else. It's like, no, just one, be a parent, be the best parent you can.
Yeah,
Hope the person comes in and step in. If they don't, you keep it pushing.
yeah,
And it's not saying that it's fair because it's not. But at the end of the day, putting kids involved in all that other stuff, now you got them trying to be grown.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it can create an issue. But at the same time,
Chaos.
if both the man and the female, both parents are there, regardless if they're beefing, the kids will see, well, I understand that you saying this about my dad, but he's there. He's always coming to get me. He's always at my stuff,
Yeah.
regardless of what you say. He never told me he was gonna do something and
They
it
do.
didn't fall through. He did
Right.
what he said he was gonna do.
He
So
never had me on the porch waiting with my bags packed.
facts.
He could never show up. That's how my daddy had me. Like, he coming today? I'm like, yeah, he said Monday. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely, yeah, for sure, man. That's
I
what's up.
got you got two more, and then we'll wrap it up. Let's see. So kind of to what we was talking about when it comes to just being there, being a father, but what are missed opportunities for teaching, mentoring, and sharing opportune experiences with the child? I'll take this. I think by not being there, there's a lot of things that you miss. Rather it's certain things when it comes to like getting haircuts, taking them to get their haircuts, every week and a half, taking them to school, having talks with them to school, teaching them how to pray, teaching them how to live a certain way, teaching them respect, teaching them how to love on a woman, you know, intimately, and what I mean intimately, obviously not
Know what
sex,
you
but
mean?
when it
Yeah.
comes to showing intimacy,
Yeah.
because again, I grew up and I didn't see that. So I think it's a lot of missed opportunities for a father not being in the house that could be very beneficial in comparison to one that don't have a father. Then they growing up and they handicapped because they got to grow into trying to be a man, figure out what it's like to be a
Mhm.
man, and then bump your head a couple of times because you don't have no manual. And then you have to also go through when it comes to the women that feels like, oh well, you supposed to be grown up right now. What no one taught me. When people say I'm self-made, that's being self-made, trying to figure it out because you had no one there to give you that blueprint on how to be a man, how to be intimate, how to be in tune with your feelings because you was told not to. So
100%. 100%. I ain't got nothing to say on that.
okay, last one. Let's see. And I want this for you because I think that, you know, your story when it comes to this is to me, like I said, I'm so happy for you, but I'm low key jealous. And then the jealous is only because I wish it was me. But how does a father navigate feelings of guilt for not being present in a child, even with the bears he can't control? And I'm saying that and I'm giving you your flowers is because you stayed true to it. You didn't give up, even though it was hard to navigate it. You kept moving to the point to where you got your kids now.
Yeah.
So that's why I say like
Uh, I'm not, I think everybody is going to be different as far as like, put the question back up there again for me. But I think everybody is going to be, I think everybody is going to navigate their feelings a little differently than maybe me, maybe you. You know what I mean? I don't think I don't think I ever learned to navigate those feelings of guilt from not being present in my first child's life. Never been able to navigate that. Like, that's something that I still deal with, even though I'm a lot more present now. You get what I'm saying? But I don't really know how to answer that, man. Like, the feelings of me having my kids now, it's fun. It's it can be a little overwhelming sometimes. I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain this. They all were just standing at the thing playing, doing this in the doorway just a second ago. But um yeah, I've never been able to navigate those feelings with my first son, which is why I ended up giving up at one point. You get what I'm saying? Because I didn't know how to navigate those.
Mm,
Navigating these feelings, it's an everyday thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I will say I love it. It's freaking great. It is dope. It is time consuming. Like I said, the biggest thing is navigating my time, my emotions, and everything. I'm a loving dad, dog. Like I'm a nurturing dad. Like I'm one of those. I'm a nurturer, bro. Like you know what I mean. Like so, it always just seems a lot easier for me than it does for other people.
mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So because I enjoyed it so much and I never had it, I never really saw it, right? And I'm gonna tell you something, right? I never really saw a man love my mother either, right? But I had problems with loving a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
I never had love
mm,
for my father, but loving my kids was never a problem. Like that shit came natural. It was like, you know what I'm saying? It was like riding a fucking bike, bro. And it's so weird to think about that because, like I said, I never saw a man love my mother. You know what I'm saying? Like I never really saw or experienced like true love besides my aunt Sandy and my uncle Sonny. They were the epitome, but I didn't really get to be around them as much as I would like to.
mm,
You get what I'm saying? So I never seen that growing up. But I did know how I feel not to have no dad, not to have nobody, you know what I'm saying, had a birds and bees talk with you, you know what I'm saying, not to have nobody, show you how to put a condom on or tell you which way to flip it or tell you that you're supposed to leave some space in there for like just not just it's those little things there. Like this dad shit came so natural to me, bro. So natural, bro. So natural. I don't even know how to explain it. Like when people see me with my kids now, they be kind of like just like especially the women, they watch me, dude. They watch me watch
mhm, mhm.
not in like ooh that's sex, not like that, but
No, like in awe.
they watch me and they see like they see me carrying around fucking Pampers diaper wipes still. Like they see me pulling out wipes, wiping my daughter's nose, and you know they see me giving my son a wipe or making him tie a shoe, and I'm standing over him tying my shoe with. Like they see that and they just looking like. And one lady came and told me she was like, "What you are doing is so beautiful. Like, do you have them all the time?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have them all the time." She's like, "I can tell. Like the way they respond to you. Like we're in the store. You know what I'm saying? My kids know, don't you touch nothing. Don't you touch a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm, mhm. I already
they
know.
just they were just so just in line, bro. Like they were just, everybody looked okay, everybody looked nice, and then the lady saw me pull out the pamper diaper wipe my daughter's nose because she always crusty for some reason. She always snotty nose. You know what I'm saying? But they be looking at me and they're just kind of like, dude, like I didn't even think it was people like men out here doing this. Like the lady was like, even my husband is not that hands on with our children. Like has never been
Mm,
that hands on. Like, dude, I'm when I say hands on, bro, don't touch my baby, bro. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like that's how
yeah,
I was. No, I don't touch
yeah. That's the
my baby.
same.
The only thing I can't do is give him my titty. But if I could, I probably would have.
Yeah.
Just keeping it G, man. So this father shit, man, this shit came natural to me. I love it. I'm the wrong person to ask that.
No, no, no. I was more so talking as far as how you navigate as far as, the oldest, but not even on that. Just I think kind of to hint on what you said as far as like being a father, there's a lot of things that I would say that people don't realize the small things. Like I said, haircut, that's like a bonding time. Me
Hmm.
when it comes to like when I have my daughter, I take her to Claire's. We'll go to the mall. We'll have a daddy daughter day. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's things like that that it's like it's dope. And it's not just a one time. I try to make sure, okay,
Yeah.
whenever I have my daughter, okay, we're gonna do something,
Hmm.
and with my sons, we gonna do something. Or I
Hmm.
try to spend time with them, because everyone, kids get tired of being with everyone all the time. I try to
You
spend
called
more
me
time
last
with them.
night, and what was we doing? Sledding, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I
yeah,
definitely get it, man. I definitely
yeah.
know
But
it.
but it's just like people don't look at that, and then when they say that stereotypical when dads aren't there, it's a lot of things that we do that we really be putting time and effort to. Now, granted, there are some guys who maybe don't, or maybe don't do it a half job as it, but I'll just say it, at least they're trying. Hopefully it
Yeah,
changes and it gets to be more. But at the end of the day, I think no one is perfect. There
yeah,
shouldn't be no judgment, but I do think it has to be some accountability because, like, okay, I'm gonna just say this for me. I be feeling like there's no excuse for any man, and this is just me, and I feel this way because of the route I gotta travel. I
mm.
gotta drive, well, I gotta fly 2,000 miles to get my son, and you can't even get get your kids that's less than
In the
100
same
miles
city
away.
and state, or
Yeah,
in the same city and state.
for me, it don't make sense because of the route I have to travel. And I think it
Hmm.
could be probably because I appreciate it a whole lot more because I wish I would have no problem driving 100 miles. That's easy
Yeah,
compared
yeah,
to having to fly and pay, you know, a decent amount of money, but I do it every time. Why? Because my son's always asking, Dad, when are we coming? Are we
'cause
gonna
that's the
come
bigger
out there?
picture.
Like I just dropped them off in on Christmas. I want to say little on my birthday. They asked when they come back out here. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So
mm,
it's just like being a father is the most dopest thing.
yeah,
It has its hiccups. Like I said, no one's perfect. We are learning this thing, especially with the new generation and how they are different from us. But that's what our parents said about us. But at the same time, it has no manual, and I love it.
yeah,
Kind of like you said, because at the end of the day, we got to try to show them the way. And
yeah,
I'm up for the challenge.
yeah,
And I want to be there for the challenge. But it's just like I just hope that some women that listen to this are able to kind of listen and see like, okay, if I do see a dad that's being there, or do see a dad that's really trying, let me give him a shot. Let me do this instead of create barriers to the point where either he don't want to be there, or I create a strain between him and the kids based off of me, not him. And
yeah,
if you do put him in a position to fumble the ball, and once he
yeah,
fumble the ball, then you can make whatever thing you're gonna do. But if you don't fumble it, why are you giving this person a hard time who's actually being there
yeah,
compared to the people who aren't there? They don't get no halftime. You're not blowing their phone up. You're not trying to cause chaos on them. They living scot free and they living it up compared to a dad who's there, who's trying to be there,
yeah,
and not with you, but you still want to make an issue.
yeah,
So I'll just say, wrapping it up to all the fathers out there, good fathers, bad fathers. Hope the bad fathers, work on yourself, and
yeah,
you know, take care of your kids. But I just think that just being a father is a great thing, and I hope that a lot of men step up and embrace the challenge because these kids didn't ask to be here.
yeah. I think more men should take pride in it. I will say I do see a lot of men taking pride in it. Like, growing up, I had hella friends that ain't know they dad, ain't know
Mm,
they dad. I don't have not one friend that don't know they kids. All my friends, anybody I call my friends or my partners or I hang with or I dap you up, they all know and take care of their kids. Every last one of them, which is what's up. That's what's up. You feel what I'm saying? Because like I
yeah, no,
said,
for sure.
growing up,
Compared
all
to
these
what it
fools ain't
was.
had no exactly.
Mm,
I ain't had no dad.
that,
You ain't had no dad. Look, our kids ain't getting rid of us. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
So, but yeah, that's definitely it's definitely a dope thing, man. But let's wrap this up. I gotta get these kids in bed. They got school in the morning, man.
All right, well, thank you guys for tuning in to open up to listen. It's been Brandon, it's Dom. You guys have a good rest of y'all day.
Love, peace, and hair grease.